Welcome to Nac Edition. I am Jessie Valladares. Today we will find out about how the constructions in Nacogdoches are affecting student parking. And when we return, we will tell you how the students of SFA are helping the community. For this and more, stay tuned. Nac Edition starts now. The construction on Star Street and STEM building preparations are creating inconvenience in altering ways to have parking on campus. The Student Government Association held a parking forum to help students brainstorm on how to make parking less of a dilemma. Here's Elena Walker with more.
No, but we can put one up. Can you write that down?
There's been so much controversy for students as to why it's such an inconvenience for there to be student parking. So, SGA held a parking forum last week so students can contemplate on how they could fix all of their parking issues and if we potentially need to expand off of campus. I'm Elena Walker and I got more on the topic. Let's go take a look.
The Student Government Association, also known as SGA, held a parking forum in the BPSC movie theater in order to allow students their own platform to give their questions, comments, and concerns on the ongoing and rising issue of student parking. Because there has been construction on Star Street and the STEM building, there has been a lot of lack in student parking. And so, Ms. Cynthia Hale, the coordinator of parking, allowed students the opportunity to brainstorm different ideas so they can alter the convenience for student parking. There was also a comparison of other schools versus SFA's ratio and the statistics of their success rate in student parking. Also, students were allowed to have a survey and give their own opinions on what they could do to be able to make parking more of a convenience, not just for residents that live on campus, but for commuters as well. Until Ms. Hale can create better opportunities for student parking, there is a shuttle bus that allows students to be able to transport themselves easily on campus and even some places off campus. You can visit the website to answer any questions that you may have. This is Elena Walker reporting for Nac Edition. Let's take it back to you guys.
Nearly a month after the first unexpected power outage, SFA is still making repairs. A campus-wide email was sent Tuesday, October 3rd, stating that there would be a scheduled power outage Sunday, October 8th from 1 to 5 p.m. The power plant department would continue to work on a campus electrical distribution system. Buildings affected include Hall 14, Lumberjack Lodge, Lumberjack Landing, and East College Cafeteria, as well as others. Students had to go to the dining hall in the Baker Patillo Student Center. The SC was open for brunch 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and for dinner from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. If your building was affected by the outage, a number of planned events were provided to help pass the time. The Student Activities Association showed Wonder Woman at the Student Center Theater free of charge. NFL Games Work showed in the Axe Handle Cafe and in the Commons Room on the 3rd floor. Those looking to study could check out on reserved rooms in the Student Center on the first come, first served basis. Dr. Shirley Loon, Executive Director of Marketing Communications, said the students' safety and comfort is the top priority, and that is their hope that this planned outage will prevent unplanned outages in the future. The two things about East Texas are true. There's so many places to enjoy amazing food, but there's also an increase in the obesity. There's different sources to maintain a healthier lifestyle. Elena Walker will tell us more.
The obesity rate is steadily on the rise. We need to figure out how we can make better alterations and make better choices in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. I'm Elena Walker. Let's get more on this topic.
With places such as Panda Express, the new Chipotle, and McDonald's, it's very easy for people to make unhealthy choices and keep those bad habits. Fortunately, we have places like the Recreation Center and Planet Fitness where people can work out and make better choices. Donella Russ, the professor of kinesiology and health science, has more on the subject.
Okay.
If you look at the statistics, the national average, the state averages in Nacogdoches County data, we find that in Nacogdoches County, we're more overweight, we're more obese than the state levels, and we're more overweight and obese than the national levels. So we're bigger and badder here in East Texas. One of the risk factors for obesity is diabetes. And again, if you look at state and national trends, we have a higher rate of diabetes in Nacogdoches County versus the state and the national levels. Several factors, fast food, lack of physical activity, access to physical activity that's inexpensive, TV time, the whole host of factors, but we see it really for some reason. Poverty issues is another thing that's related to diabetes, and lack of access to quality health care can all be attributed.
Hopefully, Nacogdoches students and locals will be more aware of their health alternatives. This is Elena Walker with Nac Edition.
The Judy B. McDonald Public Library hosted an event to educate the community about venomous snakes. Here's Haley Mendez with more.
Many people are afraid of snakes, but some are not as harmful as you may think. The Judy B. McDonald Public Library hosted a free event called Venomous Snake Identification. Ray Cole from the Nacogdoches Fire Department taught the audience how to distinguish between venomous and non-venomous snakes by looking at their different patterns and colors. He also stressed the importance snakes are to our ecosystem. They keep down the rodent population, and some non-venomous snakes even protect humans from venomous snakes. This program is part of the One Book, One City initiative as a way to bring the book to life and the community closer together. Through the month of October, the library will continue hosting events that tie into the book True Grit. To see a full list of the events, visit www.ci.nacogdoches.tx.us/962/library. For Nac Edition, I'm Haley Mendez.
Most students look forward to summer vacation to have fun and relax, but the SFA's question room was busy grooming their prize ponies, and work definitely pays off. Jamal Hamilton will tell us more.
Many students may have never heard of the Equine Center or even ventured out to the Walter C. Todd Agricultural Research Center where it's located, unless perhaps you're an animal science major. So what exactly do they do there? Well, it's the responsibility of the center to teach students the information they need in order to be successful in the equine industry. Students have a first-hand, hands-on experience every single day. But the Equine Center isn't just for students. They also provide a wide range of services to not just students, but also the community.
And here at the center, our main responsibility is we have about 27 head of university-owned horses that are used for class horses, lessons, showing, and then brood mares and their foals. And then the rest of our herd, which is approximately 40 to 50 head, are border horses. So we take student and community members' horses that they don't have a place to keep them because they live in town or in apartments, and we board them for them. As far as classes go, we have an animal science, equine science option for a degree plan, and so we house all of the equine classes. So we have basic, intermediate, and advanced horsemanship, colt starting, equine reproduction, equine management.
When they're not having classes, they're grooming and breeding their prize horses, a process that starts in the summer before the semester even begins.
Well, this summer we weaned the babies July 5th, and then Michelle and I did kindergarten with all the babies and spent the summer getting them on the show routine.
Recently, the equestrian team took 2 SFA bred and owned foals to the Open Amateur World Show in New York. Make Me Move, aka G-Easy, and Remember the Name, aka Fort Minor, both placed in the top 10 Open Solid Paint Bred Wingling Stallions class. Both ponies are up for sale by the Equine Center. Here in Nacogdoches, equestrian doesn't simply mean horse riding. It's a way of life. I'm Jamal Hamilton, and this is Nac Edition.
After the break, we'll hear about how the SFA students Design students are helping the community. Also, we will hear about a lesser-known SFA team. Nac Edition will be right back. Welcome back. The SFA School of Theater presented last week a production relevant to the 17th century and today. I want to find more about it. Let's take a look. The Stephen F. Austin State University opened their 2017-2018 main stage season with Molière's Tartuffe. Tartuffe takes place in 17th century France, where a family finds themselves in distress when someone who claims to be a holy man disrupts their home. This holy man is Tartuffe, who has gained the trust of Orgon, the father of the family. Orgon is willing to give everything he has for Tartuffe's well-being, even if it might be at his own expense. Completely blinded by Tartuffe, Orgon ignores all the warnings from everyone around him, believing that following this holy man he is guaranteed a place in heaven. The process of doing research and making all the pieces come together starts long before the show comes on stage. The students have the chance to get first-hand experience and to learn how to do different jobs. It was Daniel Hick's first time as an assistant director for the main stage.
Well, it certainly was a learning experience, starting from day one, really. I got to shadow my mentor, the guy that really gave me my first shot when I got here.
Actors start with their period makeup as soon as they get into their dressing room to help their characters come to life. Anais Sainz, SFA theater student, had the opportunity to design hair and makeup for this production.
Once you get into costume, it feels so natural. It feels like, well, of course I'm this person. So I think it's a key piece in seeing this show. In particular, Tartuffe, because of these huge 17th century wigs.
But hair and makeup was not the only thing that was designed by a student. Travis Wilson designed the lighting and Victoria Medrano was the props master for this production. Danica Pettijohn was the assistant costume designer to Professor Angela Baccaris. Matt Weaver makes sure everything goes on without a hitch. He is the stage manager for this production. He runs the show on the day of the performance with the help of Courtney Satterfield and Katie Davis, his assistant stage managers. From stage managing, designing, assistant directing to helping make set pieces, costumes, and props, the students of the School of Theater come together to help bring Tartuffe to the Nacogdoches community. The Douglas Fire Department enlisted the interior design program at SFA to help design a floor plan for the fire department. Lucy Briones will tell us more about it.
The interior design program hosts a show every year to give back to the community, and this year they'll be designing the volunteer Douglas Fire Department.
The volunteer Douglas Fire Department has enlisted help from Stephen F. Austin interior design programs to brainstorm ideas for the floor plans and present their designs to Billy Gillum and Larry Hobson, representatives of the Douglas Fire Department. The interior design students from freshmen to seniors have been gathered for 3 days, gathering accurate information from surveying sites to drawing up floor plans. They were put into groups to create an example of a floor plan that was the most efficient. The students then presented their plans to the representatives of the Douglas Fire Department. The fire department wants their volunteer firemen to be comfortable but stay up to code of the regulations for the building. They would like the floor plan to provide the most efficient way to get in and out of the building. The students are able to put the theory to the test, and at the same time, they get to learn for the future. They learn how to deal with clients' requests as well as learning how to merge the request with their personal touch. Sally Swearingen, the professor of interior design, came up with the idea to provide this opportunity for the students.
We want them to be able to give back in some way. So showing them, having hands-on experience on how you can give back is what the faculty, interior design faculty, wanted to do.
The Douglas Fire Department will incorporate ideas from all of the group's floor plans and will start in the planning phase to build the fire department for the volunteer firefighters. This has been Lucy Briones for Nac Edition.
The SFA students are always there to give a helping hand. Last Sunday, SFA students hosted an event that brought the community together to raise donations for those affected by Harvey. I want to find more about the event. Let's take a look. Many homes were devastated as a result of Hurricane Harvey last month. Many have forgotten about the people who are still in need of help following the aftermath. This is not the case of the SFA students. Improv Strikes Back, Alpha Psi Omega and Speak Up made a Harvey relief fundraiser, all the proceeds being donated to those affected by Hurricane Harvey. The event took place in the Baker Bertilla Student Center Ballroom on Sunday, October 8th. The evening is started by playing a couple of rounds of bingo. The wonderful prizes for the winners were donated by local businesses. A total of 16 businesses donated for the cause. Prices varied from coupons to restaurants, iTunes cards, board games, to tickets to SFA productions and free printing at the Scene Library. To increase the chances of winning, people could donate an extra 50 cents to get an extra bingo card. After a couple of rounds of bingo, members of Improv Strikes Back would play some games for the audience. Travis Brasher, the president of Improv Strikes Back and member of Alpha Psi Omega, came up with the idea of the event shortly after Hurricane Harvey.
It makes you feel like no matter what you do, you have some sort of voice where you can help other people. That's what it means to me. Anyone can do it.
Brasher presented the idea to Maggie Strain, the president of Alpha Psi Omega. The event has been in the planning since early September up to right now. In mid-September, Alpha Psi Omega want to cater to help those affected. But why do the event until now? They believe that not only these people will need help then, but also later in the process to get back on their feet months later. This was how they decided to create a joint event, to help those around them. There is a lesser known of individuals that compete on behalf of SFA. The Ranger Challenge team from the SFA ROTC battalion trains every fall semester for a test of skill at Fort Hood in late October. Nicholas Walker gives us the inside look.
So Ranger Challenge basically is what we consider to be the varsity sport of Army ROTC, and it's basically a physical competition more than anything.
The 5th Brigade Ranger Challenge event is held every fall semester at Fort Hood, Texas. The challenge has events ranging from the Army physical fitness test to competing in various soldier tasks and finishing off with a 10-mile foot march.
Basically, the best, fastest time is who's going to win. The goal is the Sandhurst competition, which is hosted by the United States Military Academy at West Point in New York State, and that is basically all of the best ROTC programs in the country will go and compete against the United States Military Academy. And the regional qualifier is basically kind of the East Texas region. It'll be us, Sam Houston State, TCU, and a couple other schools. And then whoever wins the regional competitions for this state and for the Southwest region will actually go and compete in San Antonio at Camp Bullis for what's called a head-to-head. And then whoever wins for the Southwest region will represent this region at the Sandhurst competition in the spring.
This is Nick Walker reporting for Nac Edition. Zipping it back to you in the studio.
Stay tuned, Nac Edition will be right back with this week's weather and sports.
Welcome back. I'm James Fowler. Let's take a look at our national weather map. In the northwestern part of the United States, Seattle is experiencing some rain and 65 degrees. Moving into the southwestern part of the United States, into Southern California, across to Arizona. They are experiencing dry weather, a high of 84 in Arizona and 76 in California. Lower temperatures are going to be found in the midwestern part of the United States. Snow was reported in Denver earlier this week. Onto the Atlantic side, New York with a high of 73 and a little bit of rain, and stretching down to Florida, a high of 86 with a little bit of rain as well, and a little bit warmer as we rise up into Tennessee. Hurricane Ophelia, which is now a tropical storm, is heading to the Atlantic coast of the United States, brewing by Africa. Fall is approaching, and that is told here in Texas as the weather is starting to fall. In Nacogdoches, we got a high of 81 and a lot of sunshine. This has been different from past weeks, as we have been in the mid to high 90s. Don't get too comfortable with the fall weather. This weekend, we get into a little bit of a warm weather, as we see in the 5-day forecast of, we got a high of 81 today. Going Thursday, we got a high of 87, a low of 64, and into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Partly cloudy on Saturday and Sunday with the high of 91 and 89 on Sunday. After the break, we'll get sports with Lathan Washington. Stay with us on Nac Edition.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Lathan Washington. Let's talk about sports. The oldest rivalry in Texas took place at NRG Stadium as the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks face off against the 11th-ranked Sam Houston Bearcats for the 92nd Battle of the Piney Woods. The Bearcats have won the last 6 games and is expected to win again this year, but the Jacks already put the axe through the Cats. This past weekend, the 92nd Battle of the Piney Woods game kicked off at NRG Stadium in Houston this past weekend, and Lumberjack fans have high hopes for a win this year, as the 11th-ranked Sam Houston Bearcats have won the last 6 games in a row. Some of the players are glad about this game being played in their hometown because their family and friends have a chance to see them play in the NFL stadium. The rivalry is the oldest in NCAA Division I FCS football history, dating back to the first meeting in 1923, defeating the Bearcats. Sam Houston has the better record in the game with the record of 53, 35, and 2. Many expect the Bearcats to win this one easy, but the Lumberjacks are putting up a fight. Bearcats went to work early, scoring within 2 minutes and 47 seconds on the first drive with a 10-yard run by Corey Avery, and shut out SFA in the first quarter 17-0. In the second quarter, Alizé Ward shifted the momentum back to the purple side of the field as he returned a 52-yard interception, which led the Jacks on a 10-point run. Jake Blumrick connected on a 53-yard bomb to sophomore wide receiver Tamarick Pace, which led to a 1-yard touchdown scramble by Blumrick. The Bearcats took a 20-13 lead into halftime. Nearing the end of the third quarter, the defense came up with another huge stop on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line, giving the Lumberjacks another shot. Blumrick looks to throw the ball to the end zone, but Denzel Sims intercepted the game-winning touchdown as the Bearcats escaped with a 27-16 victory. Debbie Humphreys is a walking legend at SFA. Humphreys earned her 652nd victory of the weekend, ranking her 15th all-time among active coaches. The 5'10" Southland Conference Coach of the Year led SFA to 8 regular season championships and 4 NCAA tournament appearances, even beating Alabama 3-2, giving SFA their first tournament victory in 2006, which could be her greatest season coaching, winning a Coach of the Year and regular season championship. In 2014, Humphries made history again, defining perfection in the regular season, posting a 16-0 record. Entering her 33rd year of being a head coach is remarkable in itself. But to have over 600 wins and still going, well, that's just insane. At her press conference, she expressed her thoughts about her career.
It's a great question. You know, I think it certainly means there's a lot of talented players that have come through this program and allowed that to happen. It also means that SFA has been a great place and good place for me with support from the administration for all these years. But it doesn't seem like it's been that long. You know, it seems like just yesterday. So, you know, what it means now is it's time to get to work and go get to 700 as quickly. What I can say is that every season, every team, even years when we had lots of the same players returning, every team is different. So I'm fortunate enough right now to be coaching my 30th different team. No two have been the same, and each one with different strengths and weaknesses, different personalities. What they need is different. What they respond to is different. So I don't think coaching's anything you ever figure out.
Well, that's all we have for sports. I'm spiking it back to Jesse.
Well, that is all for today. This has been Nac Edition. I am Jessie Valladares. See you next time and have a great day.